canvas right now, so we'll do it again. All right. So we're going to talk about these 1, 2, 3, 4 commands, and then I'm going to add the echo pipe redirection as it pertains to encoding and decoding. Okay, so let's start with this. So the ref command, and I think I might have used it, although I'm not sure. The ref command is there so that the characters in a line are reversed. Okay, so let's just try and see what I'm talking about here. So let's do cat, oops, file1. All right, so if I did, actually, let me see if I can do it with just rev file1. Nice. Okay, so cat file1, you get your list, right? If I did rev file1, all it's doing, it's taking all the characters inside each line and reversing them. Okay? Now, what if I kind of want you guys to get used to piping, right? So if I want it, how can I use what I just gave you and use a pipe? What can I do? I want to use pipes.
You can send the output to another file called file2 or something.
Right. Well, maybe not file2, right? I think you guys are, yeah, all right. So it is, whenever I send an output, it is redirection. Okay. Right now I want to use, how about we open a file and then we use the ref command, but I want to use pipes. How can I do that? I think this is better for me.
Cat. How about cat file1 pipe rev file1?
No, no need to say it.
Okay.
So as you can see, the same thing happened. And what happened is I told the terminal, I want you to open the file, and whatever output you've got, send it to this next input. I want the output of the first part to be the input of the next part. Does that make sense? So whenever we use pipe, you can chain a bunch of commands, but just like a pipe, one is attached to the other. So the output of this command is going to go into the input of the next command. Okay? We're going to be practicing this a little bit. So for the ref command, you don't really have a lot of options. You only have -v, which tell you what version you're using, and -h, which tells you, it gives you the help page for the command itself, right? And I think it was Robert Williams that said you can also use man. So it'd be man and then rev. Okay? So really there's no extra options. You just know how to play around with the ref command. Are we good?
Yeah.
Good.
All right. I haven't
How did you create that line again in between file1 and rev?
It's right above your enter key.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so now let's try and play with sort. I left sort -o because I have never used it, and I have to kind of play around with it. Anyways, I'll come back to it if I figure out how to properly use it. So let's do sort -r, reversing the sorting order. So first, let's play with sorting, right? So let's sort file1. Actually, well, you've seen how it looks like with cat file1. So let's do sort file1. All right. So if I show you, so this is just cat file1, right? Starts with orange, ends with avocado. But if I put sort file1, apple ends with orange. All right? So let's use the same thing. I want the same outcome, but I want to use pipe. What would you do?
Cat file1, pipe, sort.
Nice. Awesome. Very well done. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the sorting order of this one right here, right? Started with apple, ended with oranges. So now I want it to start with orange and end with apple. All right. So there we go. So since I'm going to do this one last time, okay, how would you use a pipe in this case?
cat file one.
File one, pipe sort dash R.
Awesome. So how about I'm going to throw something. I want it reversed, and then I want it sorted. And I'm using pipes here again.
So you
So
do
cat.
cat file one.
That's our.
Okay. Then what?
Type
yeah.
sort.
So,
Diff
okay.
throws. Yay, nice. So are you guys understanding what happened? So first it opened the file. Then I asked for every single line or characters in each line to be reversed. And this outcome, this output right here will be sent to this input. So now that I have cat file reverse, is going to sort it in reverse order, right? So starts with A, ends with T, right? If I had done, right, starts with A, ends with T, but I did sort dash R, so it's reverse order, so it's A down here, T up here, okay? I'm trying to get you guys to understand the whole pipe thing. So obviously the order matters, right? Because if I had sorted and then reversed it, it won't be the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now let's do sort space dash K. So this one, we're going to need to use another. Can I clear, guys? Is it okay if I clear the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, what does the R stand for in sort?
Reverse.
Or reverse? And then the rev is also reverse, correct?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Remember I told you guys don't memorize?
Okay, all
Or
right.
for me, I said don't memorize because dash R means also recursive in other worlds, right? In other commands, sorry, not worlds. All right, let's do ls. All right, we are going to do disorder. All right, so let's open the disorder file. All right, so here we have a nice list of names, right? So we have the first field. So think of them like columns, right? The first column or field is numbers. The second one are first name. The last one are last names, right? So obviously it's by default. Actually, it's not by default. I think I wrote it down this way. So it's not ordered by default, okay? But I don't need to order it by the first field. What if I want to order it by the second field? So I'm going to use sort dash K. I think you need a space too. And then you're going to put the name of the field. Let's see. Yes. Awesome. All right. So I said sort dash K. I gave them the field number, which is the second column, right? This one right here. And then I gave it the name of the file, right? So now it used to be this way, right? And then now we're doing, so picking the first letter, obviously, to make it in order, to sort it in order, okay? So I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to figure out how to order it by last names, in this case. All right, what'd you guys get?
Sort dash K space 3 disorder.
Nice. I agree with you. There we go. Boom, Carboni, Deb, Hartman. One more which way. Really nice. All right.
And so Una, the disorder is for
Is the name of the file.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so maybe I need to change that name, but I call this order so I remember which file to use to get you guys to organize things. All right, so now we're going to sort it. We're going to open repeats. We're going to open repeats now. All right, so obviously it cannot be, sorry. So obviously it cannot be sorted by the first field. You could sort it by the second field. How would you do that?
Dash K 2.
That's right. And then what do I put here?
Repeat.
Yes. Cool. All right. That's good, right? All right. So now I want to get rid of let's get rid of the repeats now. How would I do that? I'm going to use this option right here. All right. Let's see if it works. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Ready.
It eliminated the opera, right?
It deleted the extra lines, suppressed the extra lines. So we had 2 operas and we had 2 unas,
Oh,
and it took that away.
thank you.
And I believe that, yeah, so it's also ordered, right? It's ordered and the repeated line of suppressed. All right, how are we feeling right now? We're okay?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to clear my screen. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to use the diff, and then I'll explain the CMP, compare command, okay? So diff is going to be used to compare 2 text files. Where you would find that is, or use that, it could be in logs, right? There's something that changed in the logs, and it would be able to clearly tell you, hey, by the way, this has been changed, okay? Especially after a backup, maybe a security incident, and also you'll see we're going to be using it for lists. Okay, so, oh, sorry about that. I already wrote down which one we're going to compare, so just follow my lead, okay? Let me do ls, awesome. All right, so we're going to do diff, and we are going to put file 1, file 2. All right, that's complete gibberish. I don't understand it. So what I'm going to start with, I like to see things, I like visual things, so we're going to use the -y.
Oh.
There we go. So now what happened is that they put both files side by side for me to be able to see better, right? Now I can actually see where it changes. Now, obviously, I only have 6 lines here, and 6 lines is fine, right? But if you had a lot more line, a lot harder, right? So here it looks like we have orange, apple, banana, and here we have orange, pineapple, banana, right? So this little pipe symbol tells you that there's a change in this line. There's a change, right? So I'm comparing file 1 because I want file 1 to look like file 2. So now if we go back to the previous one where it says difference, or diff file 1, file 2. This is what the 2C2 is telling me. So just remember A, C, and D stand for add, change, delete. So it's telling me line 2 needs to be changed to match line 2 in file 2. Okay? So line 2, 1, 2, needs to be changed to match 1, 2 of file 2. So in this case, the smaller than sign means a deletion, and greater than sign means insertion.
Una.
Yep.
And so if you would have said diff -y file 2, file 1, then it would have been, whichever one is first, that's the one that you're saying you want to change.
Yeah, this is what it's telling me. It says, hey, go ahead and delete apple and insert pineapple in order for file 1 to look like file 2. Let's see what happens when I do the opposite. I should have gotten rid of the 1.
No, that was right.
But it shows me, I wanted to see what it would say. right? Here it
Oh,
says
okay.
go ahead and delete pineapple and insert apple, right? So
Mm-hmm.
different, okay? So in order for file 1, so if we go back here, in order for file 1 to look like file 2, here are your directions. Delete apple, insert pineapple.
Well, I'm so sorry, but I didn't understand the 2C2. Can you please explain one more time?
Oh yeah. I'm going to delete this because I find it hard to. All right. The C tells you what you need to do, right? It's either add, change, or delete. The first one is for the first file. The second one is for the second file, right? It's telling you which line needs to be changed.
Mhm.
So if you enumerate the lines in front of it, right, we have line 1, line 2. Line 2 needs to be changed to match line 2 in the second file. 2C2.
So Una, so if in case of the C, the 2C2, if it was a D, we would need to delete, right?
I'm going to get there. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I know you guys are so excited. Give me a second.
All right.
As long as you guys understand the C, we can move on. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Diff, no. File 3, file 4. I hope this is the right one. Oh, okay, we're going to do add first. So I'm going to do both, right? I'm going to do one side by side, and I'm going to do the instructions at the same time. Okay? So as you can see, things are starting to look different, right? A lot more different. So when it comes to add, it tells you the line after. Okay? So think of A, you're going to be adding. We're going to do it after line 3, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, and we're going to add something. In this case, we're going to add coconut, right? Remember, greater than sign means an insertion. Smaller than sign means deletion, right? Deleting, right? So here we go. This is the first one that we're paying attention to, right? So in order to match line 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, go ahead and add something after line 3, which is this one, right? And it's telling you go ahead and add the word coconut. So if I were to add the word coconut, these first 4 lines would be the exact same. Do we agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go to the next part. After line 5, so remember the first number is for the first file, add mango so that it matches line 7 of the second file, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to add it here, right? And remember, greater than means insertion, so that means I'll be adding mango after that 5th line. So if you added coconut after line 3 and mango after line 5, both file 3 and file 4 would match completely. How are we doing? Silence. Okay.
No, so Una.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay.
I'm pulling both of these up on purpose so that you can see what is being changed, right? You can either do this one or this one, right?
Yeah, no,
What?
I understand, but we never saw what file 3 looks like. You see what I'm saying?
All right. Here's file 3 and here's file 4.
Right.
Now, easy whenever it's that little amount of lines, right? But if there were a lot more, then now you have to go line by line to see which one is different. We don't want that, right? So you could either do diff -1 XY, file 3, file 4. So it could show you exactly side by side where the differences are, right? Just by looking at this, I know that I need to add the word coconut, and I need to add, as you can see here, the word mango. Now, diff file 3, file 4 without that Y tells you exactly where to add and to remove. Exactly where. The first number is with the first file, the second number is with the second file. So remember, I want file 3 to look like file 4. They must look the same.
And those numbers, those are what line? So you need to change line 3.
No, that's add.
I mean, you need to add line 3.
So after the third line, go ahead and add the word coconut, right?
Right.
And this will end up matching with line 4, right?
Right.
1, 2,
That's it.
3.
Okay.
Then you move on to the next thing, right? So after line 5, go ahead and add the word mango so that it matched line 7, right? So mango would go right here. And as you can see, right, this greater than means insertion. So you have to enter the word mango to your file.
And what if you wanted to implement the change?
Then go ahead and implement the change.
Oh, you have to do that manually. It's not a.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a comparison tool.
Okay, so we would have to open the file and then add the line.
Yeah. So if you were to do a backup, you'd be able to see the differences after the backup, right? Yeah. All right. I'm going to do the next one, okay? File 4 and file 1. Can you guys try that one? File 4, and I'm going to let you start. Oops. Let's do file 4 and file 1 right here.
File 4.
You want to do the diff command?
Yes, sir. And the one with the option. All right, so let me try. I did diff. Oops, not there. Why is it that? Oh, I deleted it. Awesome. All right, I think that was file 4 and file 1. So diff, file 4, file 1. All right, nice. Look at that. So what does that smaller than sign mean?
It's a delete.
It means deletion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I, again, like to see a little bit more. So I'm going to say file 4, file 1.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure if diff has this option, but you can also pipe it to cat with the end option and show number lines.
You can do what now?
So after diff file 4 and file 1, you can pipe it to cat and do -n, and it'll give you number lines.
All right, let's see that. Hold on. You mean for this one?
Yeah. So pipe then cat -n.
And then what you put there, just that?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Gives me a little bit more. Oh, but it doesn't give me. All right, so I guess it gives you lines. All right. Okay. So I guess that's because of what my screen looks like. Let's see if it makes any sense when I do that. All right, let's try again. Nope. All right. That's because of how my screen looks. All right, that's fine. All right, I like it. I guess it's a little. I mean, I don't know if anybody's gonna remember how to do this. That's good practice. But let's see what this is telling us. Let me clear this. We're gonna do this again. you guys can see it. All right, so what is this telling us? Anyone?
It's saying that line 7, you need to delete line 7 in the file 4, and I don't know. Hold on, I forget how you put that together.
No, I think you're on the right track. I think delete line 7 is like the most important part. It's not really going to match 6, really, right? Because 6 and 6 are just going to match each other. But I think here, yes, you are correct. Like, it's just telling you go ahead and delete line 7. I think this is the best way to make sense of this one. The smaller than is good. Oh my god. Sorry guys. Just tells you to delete mango, right? Which is located on line 7. I think that's the best way to explain this one. I like the lines because then you can actually see what I'm talking about. I'm going to do it without the lines, the cat-n, and then with it, and then we'll see how that works out for us. Okay, we're going to do, so obviously, you're not going to do one at a time, add, delete, and change. Usually, you're going to have more than one that needs to be changed, right? If you have like a lot of differences. Of course, if it's just like a quick backup and there's only one thing that was added, yeah, you would just get a D or something. Anyway, so let's try to do file 5 versus file 6. Then let's try that cat-n, right? I like trying new things. This is pretty cool. Slightly better. Ever so slightly. All right, where are we?
Whoa.
So mine has.
What did you say?
Mine has some letters like N and RRY.
It's a come from strawberry.
Strawberry. All right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
File 5. File 6. Oh yeah, that is crazy, right? But like we said, you're gonna see the word delete and change quite often. The letters, I mean. All right, let's try this again. Let's do -y to make more sense of things. All right, so let's say I had pulled this one before this one. What is this telling us right here?
We have to delete two names and add one.
And add one. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. But also, what is that pipe saying?
There's a difference in line.
That particular line is different, right? It's been changed.
Right.
So if I go back and read this, it's telling you go ahead and delete line 1. It looks like there's an insertion. No, actually that's a deletion, right? You need to delete via. It looks like you need to delete line 5, and that looks like you're deleting the word pineapple. And here there's a change with 2 letters. I know that looks crazy, but it's saying that line 9 has been changed, and then 7 and 8 have been replaced, right? So it says delete mango, insert strawberry, insert kiwi. If we're gonna read this gibberish right here, right? However, if you do side by side, you'll see that there's some sort of deletion, a change, and an insertion in the end.
And so what does the pipe mean by strawberry?
Change.
Huh?
It's a change.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Right. So smaller than means, deletion. Greater than means insertion, and the pipe means that there's a change.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's take a little vote. So I want to teach you guys a little bit more about echo. Do you guys want to do that now, or you want to go to your you want to go to the challenge for this one?
Hold on, Una.
Yeah.
Before you do that, I just thought of what I was. It just popped. the first diff that you did file 1 and 2, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that was a change, but the pipe wasn't. It was a less than sign and then a greater than sign, like a less than sign in the first column. Okay. Oh, it did. Okay. All right.
Side by side, it'll tell you what happened, right? There's a change here, but this is telling you what to do with line 2 to match the other line, right? There's going to be a deletion and an insertion.
Una, could you read the top again one more time? I'm sorry to have you repeat it.
This one?
Yeah, just that part, explanation. The one delete 0?
Yeah, so the reason why is because, and I think this is where doing that cat n is not going to work. Let's see. Yeah, so this is where it starts getting confusing. So I'm not going to use cat n for this one. But if we were to look at both lists, it's trying to make sense. I guess it's trying to make sense of each file, right? If we were, which is why I told you, when you see the D, right, just read the first number. Because what it's going to do is going to compare both sides. And if you were to make a list on each side and this starts at 1, then this right here would be 0. So instead of making things confusing, when you see D, just read the first line. That's what I got.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think it would make more sense than me saying it. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. So here you would delete line 1, right, to make it match the other file, right? And this stands for deletion. So you're deleting the word papaya, which that's exactly what needs to happen, right? To match this one, you got to delete papaya. Second one, you're going to delete line 5.
So 1, 2, pineapple.
4, 5. Yeah. And right after, delete pineapple.
But how about the 3 though? What is the 3 for? I know we're supposed to ignore it, but
yeah, no, I get it. So if we did 3, see, yeah, that's why whenever you look at delete, I'm not for looking at what's after, because it's pretty much telling you now line 3 will match. Don't go for it, because now you're like the numbers are messed up, right? This would be 0, 1, 2, 3.
3. All right.
And it's pretty much telling you, well, now it's going to match line 3. I think when you see D, just look at the first number.
All right, makes sense.
Okay? Yeah. So for 9, you're going to change line 9, and it's going to look like 7 and 8. I really don't like. I don't know. I'm not a fan of like doing translation for this, because I think eventually it will not make sense. You know, if you keep on pushing that way. Just know that there's a deletion from mango, and strawberry and kiwi are inserted.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
I think it's more powerful to pull the two of them together, because then after you can see exactly what this gibberish meant, right?
Oh, yeah.
Delete, change, insert.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, so did you guys want to go do your challenge now? Or do you want to go on to echo?
Well, if we don't do echo now, when are we going to do it?
After you're done with the challenge?
I think we should do echo now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get echo out of the way.
Okay, I like that. All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to practice. I don't have it here. We're going to practice encoding and decoding things, right? The only 3 things I'm going to teach you is actually 2. I'm only going to teach you base64 encoding and decoding, and ROT substitution. So also called ROT 13. Okay? All right. So what I tell people, you don't know something, that's fine. It's all over Google, right? We're going to do what all IT professionals do when they don't know. We Google it. So let's first print out our name to the console, right? Actually, let me get rid of that. So echo Una. So now you know exactly what happens when you do echo, right? It just prints it out on the screen. However, now I would like to encode Una. We're going to encode it in base64. So actually, let's do that. We're going to practice our Googling skills. So if you could go ahead and go on Google and let me know how with Linux would I encode something in base64. Any volunteers?
Echo una pipe base 64
Is that it?
E. Nope. Dash E. Dash E, right?
Dash E. So I've never tried dash E. Let's try with just base 64 and see what happens. Okay. Let me see dash E. I've never tried dash E.
Well, because it's dash D to decode. Well, that's how
Yeah, okay.
I had.
So you guessed that one. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Real easy, just base 64. Bam.
Okay.
All right, let's try another one. Let's try, I don't know. All right, base 64. There you go. All right. So now just to prove it to you, we're going to decode base 64. So go ahead and grab this. We're going to do echo, paste. You don't always need to do the quotation mark. It's important if you're going to have spaces within. Maybe you're trying to encode and decode a sentence, and there are spaces. You need to start adding the quotes. So I do it just automatically, just to be sure. 64. So it's actually habit. Oh, actually, so how do we decode base 64? And I'm assuming Tangela.
Oh, echo that. Oh, base 64. You can either type out decode or just dash D.
Nice. Is it dash decode?
Dash D. No, it was just like type out decode. Like you could type out decode. Like no, you have to put the dash.
First?
I thought so. Maybe that's why I was having trouble.
Oh, okay. I've never done that, but like I said, you know what? Try stuff, man. This is awesome. I like to try stuff. All right, so obviously base 64 space dash D. That's how you decode base 64.
Oh no, you can't copy and paste in terminal in line.
You can just use your mouse. So don't do Control C, Control V. That's not gonna work. Just use your mouse.
Okay.
Okay.
So to encode, you don't have to put the dash E, right?
Nope. Just base 64 will be enough.
Okay.
And to decode base 64 dash D will work. All right.
Okay.
All right, now let's go on to rod 13. So what it does is a substitution cipher. And so if I say rod 13, what it's doing is taking the letter, moving it 13 characters, and that's its equivalent. Okay? So I'm going to do my name again. So can somebody tell me what rod 13?
Rod 13 is something like in the alphabet, if we make A as a M, then all A will be M, like that, right?
Yep. Did you look it up? Did you Google it?
Yeah.
Oops. No, I'm saying, what's the command for that?
Oh, I don't know, sorry.
All right. I can't memorize that.
There will be 13 difference.
What's that?
It's the rod 13 is the 26 alphabet will be divided into 13, then it will be like just exchanging its order.
That's right. So there would be no encode and decode.
Yeah.
It would just move it 13 one way or the other, right? It's going to keep on going. I was going to say, so we don't have an actual, there's no actual, command for Route 13, but there is TR, and TR does replacing, I believe.
There was one at the same folder if you open at the bottom. The same one you were in. See the Route 13 one?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're looking for? No, at the bottom, below that. Yeah, up there.
This one?
Yeah.
So this is what this person did. So you guys don't know much about alias yet, right? But what that person did, now whenever they call Route 13 is going to call this. So it does not exist in your Linux command line. You have to create it.
Oh.
You have to create this so that from now on, all you do is use Route 13. the problem with that is that, so let's say I create it on my computer, you guys can't use it, right? It's only in my terminal that this alias works. That's why it says alias.
So people use that if they don't, if somebody get access to their computer, they don't know what it is.
Exactly, right? And your alias are what makes life easy, right? Because if you look here, -y is the alias of side by side. Who wants to enter side by side all the time, right? No, you just want to do -y. It's just like whenever we were doing parents, you guys remember that? Whenever we were doing make directory -p, you could have also written make directory -- parents, right? It's just to make your life easier. So this one, instead of always remembering this whole thing, sorry, no, this whole thing right here, they made it so that each time you enter the word rot13 is going to put this whole sentence right here, right?
So how do you do that?
Okay. So echo una. I'm just going to do tr and all this mumbo jumbo. So really it's changing A to N and what, so on and so forth. I'm going to click enter. And here it is. This is una, but each letter has been pushed 13 characters. Rotated 13 characters, I guess you could say. So what if I wanted to...
Is N the 13th letter of the alphabet?
If you rotate it from A.
Yep, it is.
Thank you. All right, so here's my other thing, right? I want to do more than one encoding, right? So let's pick a word, and we are not only going to base 64 it, we are going to rot13 it. So, give me a word. Anybody?
Word.
All right, so I'm going to encode it first in base 64. Boom. And then when I'm done with that, I want to rot13 it. Is that the last thing I pasted? Yes. All right, let's see what this looks like. Awesome. So what I did, right? First I took word and I base 64'd it. It looked, ooh, that is not what it's supposed to look like. Oh, actually, yes, it is. Sorry. And then after that, I added this part to the output, right? So I took this word. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I make sense here. Sorry, so last thing I pasted and I don't want to rewrite it. This works. Bam. There we go. So as you can see.
What did you just do? You did what now?
All right. So I cut this into pieces, right? So I could do in one command, right? I grab the word, I base 64'd it, and then whatever was the result, I did rot13 to it, right? All characters have been rotated 13 characters, correct? Right. So I wanted to show you what happened after the first one. So when you take the word and you base 64 it, this right here is the outcome. And once I grab this one and I did rot13, right? This right here is the outcome. So I want to show you. So I did this.
So you encoded twice.
That's correct.
And that's what was happening with that string on that challenge, right?
Yes. I'm about to show you exactly what came out of that. So you can chain a bunch of things, right? Thanks to piping. So let's see if we can grab, also I want to show you, notice how it's changing letters, right? It's not changing numbers. You see that? I have only changed letters here. Okay, so let's do this. Let's grab.
What does TR stand for?
Don't remember. Let me find that for you.
Oh, okay.
Translate, truncate.
What's that?
Translate.
Is it translate?
I think so. I did the TR -- help. And it says translate, squeeze, and/or delete characters from standard input, writing to standard output.
Yes, it does stand for translate. Thank you. Awesome.
So Una, I'm
That
sorry,
honestly,
but
yeah.
the ROT 13, what is its actual definition? Like, what is it? What does it do?
So it's cipher substitution. I'm assuming you guys have not gone to that in class yet. In your
We talked about cipher.
Cipher. Oh, you
Yeah.
guys did. All right. So it takes one letter and just moves it. Think about the alphabet like 13 characters away.
So yeah, so say you have 26 letters in the alphabet, and it's going from A to Z, from A to Z.
Oh, okay.
And then the
it changes
13th
it to
letter
that
of the
letter.
alphabet is N. So it's also going back from N to, it's also moving forward N, from N, 13 letters. So then it starts over N whatever plus whatever.
Oh, okay. So if the word is A, B, so then it's going to take, what is the 13th letter in the alphabet? N?
N is the 13th letter of the alphabet, yes.
Okay, so it's going to be N, and then it'll be O. A, B would be N-O. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I got it.
All right. So remember I told you that the order matters, right? So if I presented you with this word right here, and I told you it was base 64, right? Encoded in base 64 and then ROT 13. Find me what the word is. How would you do that?
Well, you'd have to reverse. No. What?
No, not that reverse. What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Well, you have to do a reverse order, right? So you'd have to take that word, echo that word, and then do the ROT 13. And then pipe.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, I hate doing that. Okay, and then pipe.
And then pipe, and then do base 64 and D dash D.
There you go. Nice. I'm curious, what would have happened if we changed the order? If we did first base 64, then we did ROT 13. Okay, hold on a second. This has to be deleted.
Space.
Oh, I didn't even register it? Let's try that again. Yeah, I didn't even register it. That's weird. Did I miss something? Echo base 64-D. And then, that should have worked. What is not working here? I don't know what's not working. So it should have given you something, but like, oh, it did actually. It's right here. Complete gibberish. You guys see that? It's got like weird symbol and a 0 somewhere. So I was trying to show you this because the order matters, right? If I tell you something has been first encoded in base 64, then ROT 13, make sure you do exactly the reverse and then the proper order. Am I making any sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So can we go ahead and decode that challenge?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, one quick question. So what does that BRO or 0, what does that mean?
It means nothing. This is gibberish. I don't know what it means.
But you were talking about that, right? About the serial?
So what I was trying to show you is that if you do, so I picked the same word over here, right? The same string of characters, right?
Yeah.
I picked the same string. This is the same one. However, if I do ROT 13 and then base 64, the decode of base 64, I get word, right? Legible, human readable, right?
Yes.
However, if I swap them, if I do base 64-D and then I do ROT 13, it gives me nonsense.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
This was just to show you the order matters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, let me see if I think I have it. Hold on. Was it this one? I think so, right? Yes.
And Una, is that the only for Rock 13, what you had up there, TR and all those other letters?
Yeah, so rod 13 is the one you hear the most of, but there's like rod 7, rod 11, rod 15 if you want, right?
No,
so you would just have to change the letters that are in.
Correct.
No, because what she had.
So how do you know
Rock 13,
which?
Hello?
I'm
Kansas,
sorry.
you can go ahead. So what you had for your Rock 13, it was TR and then some other stuff.
Yes, those are the letters. I'm going to substitute one for the other. Derek, it was called rod 13, not RHA 13.
ROT.
How would I know the other one? There's actually a game that I would love for you guys to play where you have to decipher which rod it is. There's also, so I guess I told you guys a lot about CTF challenges that I like to play. And there are places where you can just enter a sentence and it will do all the rods that you can, right? From 1 to 26, right? It will do all of them, and eventually you'll be able to see that the characters have been substituted a certain amount of times. Does that answer your question?
And so
how do you go
guess
forward?
Go ahead,
I know CD ... takes you back one, but how do you go forward one?
You put the name.
I don't know the name because I have gone back too far.
Oh, so
wait. So CD home maybe.
If you do do PWD, and they'll tell you where you are.
PWD.
Where are you?
I was like past home.
Okay, so you are in the root right now. So
so I have to go back 2 spaces. So I'm now in Tangela. So I guess
right here. That will bring you to the home.
CD.
Okay,
I found myself.
All right. So let's see. So I went into malware. Was it malware? I don't know if I'm in the right.
It was malware, but this is not the right malware.
That's what I thought. All right.
Okay, so you have to go to SoGlow package student.
I know where you guys are. Hold on a second, because I think I have a lot of your. Okay, hold on a second. Let me figure. Let me find myself.
Package.
Alrighty.
_ student. Oh yeah, I was supposed to.
It was this one, right? CD.
I think you just passed it right there.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
This one, right? All right. So I put it into CSG. Okay. SG2. I think it might be this one. Yeah.
And so CD malware, and then payload PS.
I think it's malware. Yeah, and then LS. Okay, so here's the payload, right? Can you guys see this? It's not easy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So that's what I got. All right. So we're gonna open payload.ps1, right? All right. We got gibberish. So I know that usually the 2 equal sign gives me base 64. So here's what I did. I'm grabbing this.
Echo.
Yep. So we're going to do echo.
Paste.
I think it's going, okay, good. And then I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to say base 64 -D. Nope, not that. G.
What does the 2-line mean again?
Usually when you have 2 equal sign, it's a telltale sign that it's base 64.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to do base 64, and then we're going to see what happens. Interesting. So here's the end of my command. Kind of hard to see, but this is the end of my command, right? So now here I go again. It starts here. Here's what it decoded for me. Okay, still gibberish. I don't know this code at all. I don't know what's going on. However, I know that $sign command. So if you don't know something, just keep on pulling it apart until you can't anymore. That's what I said. Anyway, so =sign command equals, and then there's a bunch of gibberish. Then we have an if-else statement, and then I'm seeing this $sign command again. So what this is up here is a variable. That is a variable, okay? So they've put something and made it equal to a word called command. So I don't know. I know there's not a lot of CS majors here, but a variable, let's say it's like a container and you put something in it, right? Let's just think of it that way. So the first time I did this, I had no idea how to actually solve this question, right? But I know there's a variable. This looks like gibberish to me, so let me copy it. And if you keep on reading that if-else statement, the word 64 pops up multiple times, right? Actually, even here, it's telling me that it's going to grab something from base 64, turn it into a string. All right, so guess what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to grab that command.
Just the top part.
Just the top part. I just want to see what they're passing through here. That's all I want to know. So if you look at this, this is what it gives me. Again, I have no idea what it does. However, there's something that's very familiar here, right? Right here?
Yep.
So it looks like, actually, is it going to, I don't think it's going to go straight to it. So I'm going to copy it. Let's see, let's see if I don't know if my Firefox is in the mood to move fast today. But you're going to copy this into your local web browser, and let's see what it does. Has anyone tried it already?
Yeah, it's a song from YouTube, right? Don't give up.
Okay. Wow, 5 years later. Tangela, did you try?
Yeah, I'm about to.
There we go.
Never gonna give you up.
I think the expression is that we've been rickrolled.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Oh no, can you go back? I wanted to see how you did, what you typed in there for that again.
So it was like after that base 64, like I could not figure out how to get down to. But you're saying because it said base 64 from base 64 string that it did it again, that it base 64 more than once. But that's, I guess, yeah. All right.
So so to answer your question, Robert, so this is what it gave me, right? This is actually a PowerShell script, and if you go and read all, just like in Linux, they have a bunch of options, and I'm pretty sure that this means that it's going to be run in the background. I think I had I was looking for a way to make it run in PowerShell. It didn't work for me, so I decided to pull it here. I know that's encoded. I know it's base 64, or I was going to try at least, right? Because it has those two equal signs. If you grab echo, exactly how I taught you guys, and you base 64 decoded, you'll see that, oh, where did I go? It will give you yet something else, right? Again, if you don't have much coding experience, just keep on pulling it, right? I saw from base 64 strings. I was like, okay, so they're trying something else yet again. So let me try base 64 since that's what I know. And that's when it gave me this. Now, again, I'm not really trying to figure out what it's doing. I want to know what it was trying to give me, and I know YouTube, right? Just like you do. So that's why I went and pulled it in YouTube. So that's the payload. It was going to run a video in your computer. Okay. All right. Let me stop sharing, and let me stop the recording.